Hey guys, what is up? My name is METALHEADxLEE and welcome back to YouTube Tips. So this is number 2, and this video I'm going to talk about what basically equipment and gear you need for making your videos. So last video I talked about making a username, finding your content, and basically getting started, the very basic stuff. So this video I'm going to talk about some of the different things you'll need for being a YouTuber pretty much. So the first thing is deciding if you're a gamer, then you'll need either a capture card or well, pretty much a capture card is all you need to get started. If you want to do commentary, you'll need a mic. And I'll leave it a little bit later in this video. I'll talk about some of the suggestions I have, but for a gamer, you'll need a capture card, you'll need probably a decent PC, and you'll need a mic. And if you're a PC gamer, you'll need obviously a good PC, and you'll need a mic as well, and some capture software. So again, I'll talk about the specific programs that are on this video. So other things you may need a camera if you're a vlogger. So get a decent camera. You might have one already if you're probably interested in photography maybe. Get a good camera. A DSLR is probably the best, but they are expensive. Again, I said in the first video, if you want to just get started, try out YouTube. If you're a vlogger, then use your phone. Phones are pretty good. They're decent quality. You can upload straight from your phone, so you have no editing to do. I mean, my phone, I've got a Samsung Galaxy S3, and the video is pretty good on it. There's a front-facing camera which I use for my vlogs, and it's 720p, and it's decent. It's not great, but it gets the job done for a vlog. And there's also a full HD back camera. So do that. Most people will have a good phone nowadays. iPhones all have them. iPhone cameras are pretty good. Samsung's pretty good. So the chances are you probably already have one, and there's a good chance you'll already have a camera with a video recorder on it. So just use that. You don't want to be spending a lot of money on a camera. I mean, cameras are dear. They're like £300–400 to get a decent one. And if you're not going to keep doing YouTube, then it's not really worth it, to be honest. So you want to make sure that this is what you want to do if you are going to spend the money. If you're not sure, then use what you've got or buy a really cheap one and see what it's like. So that's for vlogs. Gamers, as I said, get a capture card. Whatever you're doing, if you're doing console gaming, capture card. If you're a PC gamer, then get a capture software. So what I'd recommend for consoles, I recommend the Elgato Game Capture HD. So I've got another video up comparing this to the HD PVR2, which is another example, and it's equally as good, although there are a few differences. But go to watch that video. I'll put an annotation up above now, and it'll take you to that, and you can see which one yourself. One thing I should note that I haven't included in that video is the Elgato requires a slightly better computer to record. I think you need 4 GB of RAM, whereas the HD PVR2 software only requires I think half a gig of RAM. So there is a difference in that. So if you don't have maybe a good computer or you're using a laptop, then the PVR2 might be better for you. But if that's not an issue, then I'd recommend the Elgato. But go watch that video. I pretty much cover everything. So that's really it. So with regards to mics, again, try and use what you've got. If you maybe have a mic, you may not, because they're not the kind of thing that a lot of people have. For me, I had a few mics lying around because I made a studio for myself a few years ago before I started gaming. For music, I record drums, guitar, vocals, stuff like that. So I had a few mics lying around that I could use. But yeah, look up tutorials and stuff on YouTube for recording. There's lots of them out there, and really, I can't really explain it very well enough. Basically, I learned most of the stuff along the way. But the best mics for recording gameplay or commentary would probably be USB mics. They're simple to use. They're usually not too expensive, and they're pretty easy to set up. One I'd recommend that I'm using right now is the Blue Yeti. This is kind of expensive. It's around £100 to £120 in the UK. Whatever that is in dollars, like what, $150. So it is kind of expensive, but it's a really good mic. It's really worth it. It's probably one of the most common mics that people use for YouTube. There's also a cheaper alternative. The blue was Snowball, I think it's called. It's by the same company, and that's kind of it's not as good, but you get the job done as well. And it's slightly cheaper. There's also other alternatives. You can use a headset. The Astros are an okay mic on them. Mic that I used for PC and I still use actually is the Logitech G35 Headset. Basically there's a mic on that, and I use that for recording gameplay on the PC, although I will be switching to the Blue Yeti soon, but that's not the point. But that's what you need to get started. Make sure that you're recording HD. HD is essential on YouTube. Everyone has it nowadays, and if you don't have it, then you'll be a lot further behind than everyone else. All the big YouTube commentators and gameplay people, whatever, all have HD content, at least 720p. Do full full HD 1080p if you can. It's not essential, but it's better if you can do it, because some people like watching HD or full screen story and in 1080p. It looks better. But yeah, HD is essential. No one wants to watch bad quality content. And that, I guess that brings me on to another topic, is rendering and software programs. So if you're recording gameplay, especially PC stuff, then the files are going to come out really large. And I forgot to mention as well the software. I'll do that now quickly. Software for recording on PC, the most common one is Fraps. This is advantages and disadvantages. I personally don't use Fraps. It's not very expensive. I think it's around £20-25 to get a license for it. But the one I use is called DxTore, and that's a lot better in my opinion. You can record live commentary with it, and also puts it all in sync with the recording. It's higher quality, and it generally has less of a performance hit on your computer. So they're the ones I use. They're about similar priced. DxTore is the one I'd recommend. Just search it. I think it's a Japanese or Chinese, website. Sorry if I got that wrong to anyone watching that's Chinese, but that's what the website's in. Just buy it. Buy a license, download it. You can try both Fraps and DxTore for free, although you get a watermark on them, I think, or you're limited to recording for only something like 30 seconds. But try them out. Both have their advantages, I guess. And the files come out really large. I mean, a 30-minute video is about, I think, 70 to 80 gigabytes, which is massive, and you can't upload that raw. So you're going to need editing software. There's a few ones out there you can get. If you're on Mac, then maybe Final Cut Pro. I'm not sure. I don't have a Mac, so I'm not sure. I think Final Cut Pro is the one most people use on Mac. If you're on PC, then probably the most common one is Sony Vegas. So Sony Vegas it's a great. I still use it. It's great. You can either buy, I think it's called Movie Studio, which is only around £50, or you can buy the Pro version, which I use, which is I think around 300. So it is kind of expensive. But I'd recommend the Movie Studio. I used it for a long time when I first started on YouTube. It's really cheap and it gets the job done. It's equally as good as Pro. You just get a few less features and it's not as quick and stuff like that, but get that. Or you can use Windows Movie Maker. You limited by what you can do by it, but it'll render the file down to a more manageable size for uploading. And they're pretty much the programs I'd recommend. I'm not going to go into too much into render settings. I'll do that in another video. But that's really what you need to get started making videos. So what you can take from this video is must be HD, at least 720p. Get a software for rendering. I'd recommend Vegas because that's what I use. Just render your file down. I'll have a video up in a while, but if you can't wait until then look up on YouTube just Sony Vegas render settings for gameplay, whatever. You'll find thousands of videos with people giving their render settings, and just find the one that works best for you. Experiment. There's nothing you can do wrong. You don't have to upload it if it doesn't come out correctly. Just do it again. So that's really it for this video. I talked a little bit more about I guess the editing side and what programs and software and equipment you need. So it is expensive getting into YouTube. It's not something you can just get up and do, especially if you're a gamer. You need capture card, you need a good mic for doing commentary, you need a good computer for editing and stuff like that. But on the other hand of that, if it's something you enjoy doing, then go for it. I've loved every minute that I've done on YouTube the past year, and I wouldn't change what I've done. So anyway guys, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. If this video helped you, then give a like and favorite. It really helps me. And if you subscribe if you're new. So as always guys, I've been METALHEADxLEE, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.